Hello and welcome back to Spyro the Dragon 2. Oh hey, it's Breeze Harbour. Is it gonna be like the Nork Harbor, like Twilight Harbor? Hopefully not. Ooh. God, that guy is a wimp. Hello. Wait. Okay, that water may not be water. That water may be like something else. Okay, that I nearly flew off that, but okay. I should be able to. No, I can't climb it. Where do you lead me? Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I kind of understand the mini games because they do add like more playtime to where there wasn't playtime. Though a part of me kind of feels like they would have been better off if they just made more levels. You know, though again, I don't know how much time it takes them to make one of these. Okay, if I shoot that. If any of this gets hit, will it be... No. Okay. Aiming at a new target. He's dead. Okay. Okay. We got that guy to worry about, so we'll head back. We'll, go and actually talk to that guy over there. Well, that doesn't lead me to anywhere. That's sad. Okay. Okay, what do you need me to do?
Please excuse our mess, Spyro. We are currently suffering from a land blubber infestation. First, they put out the fires on our...
Okay, then they shut down the ship, so I have to... Yeah, okay. So that was kind of pointless-ish. Could I maybe use this to... No, that's too far. Yeah. By the way, Ooh, there's a thing up there. You know, Hello, go away. I was thinking, these levels are larger than most Mario 64 levels, aren't they? I don't know. It's kind of a funny thing where, like, okay, we're aiming too high. So we just start aiming down. And eventually hope we hit him, yeah, okay. Okay, but what is the next step? Alright, go into the water. And not be not be an idiot. But yeah, overall, I feel like the minigames are... But yeah, the thing with the PS1 was, you can often just add more levels. Keep in mind, each one of levels in a game like, we can take Tomb Raider for an example. The hard, let's call it level data, is about 2 megabytes. But realistically, you can only have a level that's about 1 megabyte big. The other megabyte is spent on stuff like, the related sound data and the related graphics. But depending on how you have your data set up, I know some games have it set up where there's one large file with all the textures and with, like, packages of sound effects. It depends on what you want to do. Maybe you save a little bit of time by having the data duplicated, but, on a game development sort of way, maybe other method is faster, I'm not sure. But what I am sure is that it doesn't really matter that much. You know, generally, but I have to go back there. I have to see what that actually turned on. Generally speaking, the N64 was kind of limited in the sense. Well, oh, I'm stupid. Well, the PS1 kinda, oh. It kinda had a lot more developer freedom in terms of what you can do. And that's kinda what made so many developers choose it over the N64. That, and also not only were the licensing fees cheaper, the system was easier to figure out, but also cartridges are so much more expensive to make. And remember, obviously, like, you as the consumer were paying more for cartridge games than you were for CD games. But also, you if you were... Well, there's a bunch of things. First of all, if you were just, like, let's say a smaller time company who was buying stuff directly from Sony or directly from Nintendo, you know, you would have to buy stuff from, for instance, Nintendo, and it's quite expensive, you know? It would cost more for you, so unsold inventory on the N64 can really, like, mess you up. I mean, that's why Glover 2 died, basically. The developers made, and this is a true story, as funny as it is, too many copies of Glover 1. Also, holy shit, why can't I hit this thing? Huh? Wait, what? Finally, okay. Maybe this was a depth perception issue, I'm not sure. But yeah. It's sad. But yeah, generally speaking, you had that, and you also had the part where, as long as you, from my understanding, as long as you actually pay the licensing, you don't have to give Sony any money. You can print your own games, and you can distribute your games yourself. That's what EA did, and some other companies as well. But, you know, with Nintendo, as things often did go back then, you know, back before, you know, it was either their way or the highway. And a lot of companies, including, you know, Squaresoft, chose the highway. And the highway brought us so much cool stuff. So much cool stuff that would kind of be impossible on the N64. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, there was a mosquito, and I didn't manage to kill it. Anyways, yeah. You had the funny thing where... Holy, okay. You had the funny thing where that happened, and then you also have the other funny stuff, like, how generally speaking, you know... A lot of the third parties on the N64 were kind of hit or miss. I know, like, you know, there are fans of Turok, that's why it got ported, but, like, generally speaking, a lot of the games were, I guess, okay, but you gotta be, like, at least a little bit, you know, nostalgic to say, you know, a lot of them were timeless classics. Like, okay, to be fair, you know, I mean, not even to be fair, like, genuinely, like, quite a few of the Nintendo ones were good.
Thanks for getting our ship fight.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, ship fight. Oh, wait, so, yeah, we are helping these guys attack the slugs. And we helped the slugs repel the birds. Okay. Is this called war profiteering? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, the issue you kind of tend to run into is, like, you know, the Nintendo stuff was obviously good. I mean, it was the Nintendo stuff. Well, granted, not all of it. There were some kind of misses, but generally speaking, you couldn't really go that wrong. The main issue really just was, like, you know... the fact that with third parties, how much was there really? Like, let's be... Hello.
How lucky for me.
How lucky for you! His machinery is broken. Okay, I'll get you the gears. But generally speaking, the issue we kind of run into is, yeah, like... Even a Railway, which I know a lot of people are, like, hyper-mega Railway fans. But, like, let me be the one to tell you. Railway made some solid titles back in the day. But, like, they weren't particularly incredible, right? Like, Banjo-Kazooie was pretty decent, obviously. But then you kind of run into all the other stuff. You know, like, Blast Core was... I mean, I guess fine. But it wasn't anything particularly special. Then there's, like, Oh, fuck. You gotta be shitting. Do I have to do this again? I have to do this again. You gotta be shitting me. Wait, what did you say?
Trouble with the truck.
Ah, fuck's sake. It's gonna be one of these again. Okay, we'll have to pick that up. But yeah. Fuck, I keep messing up. Okay. The issue is, so many third parties on the PS1 had, like, quite a few games. I don't care anymore. Go away. Trouble with the trolley? No, no, do not go on there. Oh, did I pick the gems up? I think I may have. I don't know. But yeah. Like, a lot of the other Railway stuff was just kind of okay. Like, for instance... I forget who made the games. Like, the first Star Wars game was kinda shit. You know? What? I don't want to go in this direction. You know, like, no, fuck. What? The controls suck. Shut up! Like, you know, the issue just kind of was fucking Iguana, like, come on. Then you had, like, you know, you had Railway, you had Iguana, but who else, even? A lot of the other companies were just kind of there, but, like, eh. You had Bandai Namco. They made, I think, a few things, but generally speaking, it was just kind of there, you know? And I don't blame people for, like, you know, it's the console war. But, like, people will always talk about two systems, but, like, realistically, it's kind of funny, because for as far as the systems were apart in so many ways, they are actually closer together in terms of, like, capabilities or whatever than people think. You know? The big difference is just, man, like, the N64 has some, like, hardware faults that were basically, you know, Nintendo's lack of experience, things that were fixed on the GameCube. The only difference is, when Nintendo made, you know, the only difference was, if Nintendo had used CDs, basically all of their other problems would have been, you know, then there would be another problem that would be the primary one. But because they use cartridges, like, you know, that's some nice storage space you have there, you know, sorry, that's some nice extra memory you have there, you know, the memory expansion. It's a shame that games can't really store that much stuff on it. I mean, Majora's Mask and DK64 did, but you can imagine the wonderful adventures. Okay, keep in mind, right? So, take a game like Spyro 1, right? Oh no, take Tomb Raider, right? the core engine of a game like Tomb Raider makes it so you have about 1 megabyte of space, you know, left for your levels, right? So on the N64, without the expansion packs, the level geometry can take up about a megabyte, I believe. You know? You have half a megabyte more space, but you also need stuff like a third frame buffer, thank God, and a Z buffer. They don't need a third frame buffer, but you really should have one on the N64 because the way it handles video, so generally speaking, the memory kind of evens out. But the main thing is, when you add on the expansion pack, what if I explode immediately? I just want to explode immediately. I wanted to run on the track myself.
Trouble with the...
Shut... No, I just want to go up there so I can have an easier time navigating... Whatever. Oh, the gems are down here. Okay, so what have we done? We've done one of them. There's still another one somewhere. Oh yeah, it's destroying all the thingamabobamajig. Over here maybe somewhere? No, we've already been here. But yeah, like, generally speaking, you... No, I know what I have to do. You run into the slight issue where so often... You would have had, if you had the expansion pack on, you know, the N64 with, like, a CD-based game, right? You could theoretically store up to, like, 6 megabytes of level data. And you may be wondering, okay, well, what can you do with 6 megabytes? Granted, if you wanted to make a level, yeah, let's assume... Let's say you could have had 4 megabytes, because the other, you know, you would obviously load in more varied content. Okay, maybe, a more realistic measure would be maybe you would have 5 megs. I don't know. Point is, you would have a lot of space left for, like, level geometry and stuff. Granted, games like, what are they called? Fuck. DK64 use it for, like, vertex lighting, and Perfect Dark did actually use it for some stuff. But you can just imagine, you could have had some truly colossal levels loaded in at once, you know? And then you look back at the PlayStation, and then you see, like, how games like Soul Reaver were designed so that once you load in, there are no more loading zones. And you kind of realize, you know, oh yeah, the expansion pack would have been cool, but, like, developer competence rises above that. It's a shame, really. Like, and it's kind of the thing, right? If the N64 used, actually, I don't know what the directive was on this, but I have to say 2 things. Number 1, if the N64 used CDs, it would have probably done quite a bit better, purely because the entrance costs would have been lower, so more games, like, more developers would have been comfortable making games for the system. That's one thing I'm gonna say. And the other thing is that, like, holy shit, I'm pretty sure, no, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the reason why, like, a lot of the N64 games used bilinear filtering on everything, because you can turn most of it off, is because of a directive from Nintendo. Similarly to how, like, they mandated that you have to, like, on the Wii, have a specific percentage of your controls, you know, use the Wiimote, motion controls or whatever. Hey, we did it. What time are we at, anyways? Oh, 19 minutes. Okay, so we'll have to do a part of the next level. Whatever. And that's kind of the issue you run into. Uh-oh. Well, that's funny. Who do you shoot? That one. But yeah. It's interesting, definitely. And the thing is, a part of the issue of the PS1 is the way the DMA is set up. Because, believe it or not, The PS1 has a bit of a hardware bug, a hardware malfunction, let's call it, where the only one... Oh, we've already been here. Only one sector... What's over here? I'm doing those last. Only one, sector of the CD-ROM can be loaded and cached at once. So realistically, so normally you would have 32 kilobytes of CD-ROM cache. However, for whatever hardware bug reason, only one sector that's 2 kilobytes is loaded at once. You can imagine, so if we would, for instance, take the idea that the PS1 has, we can go into Scorch, why not? So it's about 300 kilobytes per second in ideal circumstances, 320, but 300 is more realistic. And, so that basically means that it's done really quickly, you know, when it's loading data. But if you had 32 kilobytes, keep in mind, 32 divided by, you know, 300, that would basically mean that while loading data, if you could use the full cache, I mean, ideally you would have even more cache. Ideally, what is the issue here? Well, Spyro, boy, I robbed a castle, but it cut up by these evil soldiers, and I'm stuck out here. If you can open the door. Okay. Why not? But yeah, generally speaking, the issue we will run into is that, instead of being able to load stuff and read once, you kind of have to juggle, if you wanna, like, stream data, you kind of have to juggle reading sectors and actually processing the game data, which can cause issues. Some games handle it better, some games handle it worse, but I have no doubts that if the PS1 actually had, like, you know, a bit of a working cache, I think we would see a lot more games take advantage of data streaming. If you can imagine, like, take the size of, you know, take the speed, the 2x ROM drive, you know, that's about 300 per second, right? So 300 per second divided by 30, because we have games that run on average at, like, 30 frames per second, that would be about 10k of data every frame, if that was working fine. If a game was running at fucking 15 frames per second, again, that's only 20Ks of data. We have 32Ks of data, which would mean that theoretically, if we were running a game at 30 FPS, if we had the system function the way it should, and the CD-ROM was streaming data properly into the cache, we could read the cache once every frame, and the cache should be filled up with, like, the sectors, you know? We will basically tell it, oh yeah, load this data, okay, the next whatever sectors are ready, pull that data, blah, blah, blah. Oh god, what the fuck do you want? Okay. But yeah, it's just kind of a thing, you know? It's, in all honesty, kind of sad. But yeah, like, it is interesting, though. Like, I was thinking for a moment, like, maybe the cache wouldn't be enough, you know? But yeah, for what it is, 32K could have handled streaming fine for games that are of that sort of speed. And as you can imagine, you know, a game like, for instance, you know...
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, thanks for your help. You're gonna ask me to do the same thing but harder now, aren't you? No. Okay, good. But yeah, you'll run into, quite quickly in fact, you'll run into the problem where, you know, you just kind of have to juggle things and it becomes a lot less fun. But if you would consider that the entire level is like 1 megabyte. You can understand how you can have smaller, you know, of geometry. You can imagine if you can have smaller chunks load in, you know, 1 second of data will already load in like a good third of your, you know, a good third of that basically. Not a third, maybe if you have a really optimal engine, like a fourth, but you know what I mean. But you can still sort the areas out. You can still do a lot, depending on the way you stream the data. Sadly, though, we only had a couple games do it, but it's a lot more than people think. Medal of Honor Underground, you know how they got such large levels to, you know, load into the small well, they stream them. You can test that out. Load up DuckStation and open up the DMA channels, and you'll see that the CD-ROM is being read during that point in time. Oh yeah, and also if you're wondering, because there is the actually decent question which sometimes people wonder, how do you like manage? What is this? It's this key here. Okay. Like, some people wonder, oh yeah, but how would you manage, for instance, a game loading data, you know, and then it unloads the part of the level? What if there's something in that part of the level? Well, that's the trick. You'll always have to keep something loaded. So what you can do is you can always make sure that multiple areas aren't loaded at once. And you can even make it so, you know, you have a list of, you know, if you want to make a bunch of enemies that don't reappear as you walk up to them, because as you know, in like a lot of NES games, the moment you walk off the screen, the area is unloaded. What you can do if you want to prevent that is simply just have a, we have 2 megabytes of RAM, so we can have, like, 1 bit for each enemy just to list, like, you know, if they're dead or not. What you could really do is just have, like, a fucking list of enemies. Like, just a giant, just some bytes. And have some really simple game logic to set each individual bits for, like, you know, an enemy. So each enemy in the level will have a specific enemy ID, you know, enemy ID number 5, enemy ID number 50, and that's a unique number. Spyro, you made a great secret agent, thank you. But yeah, you would just have that, and then whenever an enemy loads an area, it will still have to load the asset, but then when it, you know, okay, I've loaded this thing now, has the enemy been defeated? If the enemy ID is on the list, of, like, you know, if I'll check the enemy table, oh, look, the bit at ID number whatever is set to, you know, you can do a lot.
Hey, Spyro, we need those.
Okay, I've done some of those. Oh, wait. Did I do all of them already?
My ugly.
Shoot. Huh, okay. What do I do with this? I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, I feel like the #1 thing which is good for you to do is to try to kind of visualize, you know, this sort of stuff in your head. Because it can actually really help you. It's... Is that the flagpole? No. Wait, is it that over there? Surely not. No. What do you want from me, buddy?
My ugly.
Okay, I'll do it. Oh, I haven't been up there yet. But yeah, like, generally speaking, it's good to kind of have an eye for how things work. That's the #1 thing I've learned. You know, just kind of... Oh. Just kind of generally being interested in that sort of stuff. You know? You know, it's kind of funny. You see, programming is interesting because kind of like art, you know, I mean, I would say it is art, but you know, it's kind of impossible. I mean, there are ways, you know, there's no right way of doing art, right? You know, there's plenty of ways to do it, you know, there's plenty of ways to do it where in programming, right? Where it's not what you want to do. But it's kind of difficult to do it, you know, wrong in a literal sense, you know? How do you even make art? And, you know, how do you... You know, in programming, because it's also functional, there are better and worse solutions. And sometimes, you know, you can have several solutions that are good enough. And oftentimes, the thing I come up with off the top of my head in a YouTube video where I'm playing Spyro is maybe not... You know, maybe it's not the best idea I've had. Maybe it's, maybe even it's kind of half-baked, because I'm playing Spyro. But I'd say it's a lot better than not having an idea. And just kind of generally wondering, just kind of generally wondering about how the things work definitely helps. It helps me stay sane. Well, maybe I'm crying? Probably not. But yeah, I don't know. In the end, it is partially about what you find fun, isn't it? Okay, we have to go back and break that thing. Come on, it's right over here. Not right over here, but you know. Surely we can make it. Ah, no. But no. We got it. Okay, but where is the last one? I'm missing a few things. No, I got the gems. What is the little kid? Okay, open the guidebook. Help me. Doesn't tell me until I got it, even though I talked to him. Well, I kicked that one on. I kicked the other one on. I'll have to reread what he said. Turn around. Try again. I don't want to lose my power-up, so you know. Oh my god. Man, this is maybe the tiniest bit frustrating, but yeah. So, let's see. There's this giant flagpole. There's a flag guy up there. He's the guy who we have to shoot.
So, you
want that flag? Let's go. Avoid the bombs and return them to you. Okay. Ah. The issue is the camera doesn't let you see them. This is one time, you see, the way Spyro handles nicely is because he is pretty far from... Sorry, he is pretty close to the camera. However, when... Okay, did we do one?
Great.
There's more. We saved our progress, but we have one of them. So we have to do it on the other two flags. Okay, that's why this video is going to be longer. Yeah. Honestly aggravating, but you know. Oh, no. I have to go further out.
still after.
Yeah, okay, come on. Right. Wait, is there a pattern? No, there's no pattern. But the bomb bounced like that, so it's kind of, you know, yeah. Anyways, yeah, the idea is you would maybe stop when he drops the bomb. No, because he doesn't care, huh? Oh my god, wait. Okay. The strategy seems to be to just walk kinda far away from him.
You're so close.
Yeah, I am so close. I just have to now get the third one. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, you know, I don't know, man. I was gonna say something stupid, but then I kind of forgot, you know? That's how it goes. Come on, please tell me I can aim high enough. Just about. Oi.
You
I will. Watch me follow you very slowly. Well, you'll do that. Well, I'll do this. What are you gonna do, buddy, huh? Oh my god! And the hit range is frustratingly large. Okay, I'm just gonna try to see, can I just power through it normally? I think he tries to preempt my movements. What if I go over here? Shit. Okay. No, oh my god, he does actually try to target you. Yeah. Ha! Finally.
Great job, Agent Spyro. How can we
These minigames really drag the game
How
down.
about this orb that I found in the sand?
Yeah, why not? Anyways, let's head out. Yeah, anyways, I don't know what else to say. Except let's watch what's going on over here. Oh, they're dead. Oh, maybe not. So they are actually like some kinds of secret agents. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, we're back here now. Isn't that great? How much do we even have left? We have one level here that we missed, and then two... whatever. I'll see you in the next episode when we tackle whichever levels those are. We got through 2 in this video. Maybe we'll get through... I don't know. Bye-bye.